Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode on Carpe Diem Living the Podcast. I am your host, Shane Gitmed, and today we have someone by the name of Cheri, who is the CBD Yoga Teacher. And this has been such an exciting topic for me because I feel like not enough people talk about CBD enough and what it can do for the body, for your health, and just overall wellness. So Cheri, take it away and tell us about your journey, what you do with CBD, and all the things.
Thank you so much, Shane, for having me. And I really want to just address the social stigma from the get-go. So just kind of clear up what is CBD and separate it from the THC, like what I call its non-psychoactive cousin. So if you think of cannabis as an umbrella, and under this umbrella of the cannabis, you have a marijuana plant, which is the THC. That's what most people are familiar with. So under that cannabis umbrella, there's the hemp plant. Hemp is where we actually derive the CBD from. So it's very different from marijuana. It's very different from pot. It looks similar, and that's where I think the confusion comes. So cannabidiol is CBD. It's extracted from the hemp plant, and there's absolutely no psychoactive effects, meaning there's no head high. So you're really just getting all the beautiful benefits from the plant, all the healing, anti-inflammation, helps with pain, goes into like helping with anxiety, depression. You get all these wonderful benefits without any type of head change. And I also like to point out that we're actually born with an endocannabinoid system. So every single mammal, so you can even think like your dogs, your cats, even llamas and whales are mammals. They all have endocannabinoid systems. So we're born with these systems that are ready to receive the CBD medicine. So of course, we're not born with a Tylenol system or a Paxil or Zoloft system, right? Like a prescription medication system. But we are born with endocannabinoid receptors throughout our entire body, ready and waiting to receive the CBD, cannabidiol medicine. So that's where I really like to start, clearing up the social stigma, knowing that you can use this as a holistic option for pain, anti-inflammation, anxiety, depression, all those beautiful benefits. No head high. It's not like pot. It doesn't give you the munchies, nothing like that. And myself personally, I started with yoga back in 1999. So over 20 years ago, I've been practicing yoga. And I was really just using it for like the fitness part. And I never really got into like the meditation or any of the deeper side of yoga. And so I was doing yoga, and then I graduated college, started a family, and I slowly got away from my yoga practice. And I basically became a workaholic. I started working about 12, 14 hours a day. And I basically worked myself soul sick. I worked myself to a point where I literally collapsed. I was at that point on anxiety medication, depression medication. I was taking pain medication for arthritis in my hands and hips, and ended up in a medical health crisis. And it was a wake-up call for me because obviously my lifestyle that I was living wasn't working. And I didn't even know at that time what self-care was. It was like a badge of honor to stay busy and just keep going and going. And I basically built this incredible career, but I was sick and empty on the inside, really just soul sick. And so I hit a rock bottom mentally and physically. And I was diagnosed with multiple autoimmune diseases, literally diagnosed with 3 autoimmune diseases in a 24-hour span. And I was also let go from my corporate position. So I was actually on disability, and I was getting all the blood work back and realizing what was going on in my body. And that is what happened. So now I know it as a blessing in disguise because I would have never walked away from the corporate world if it wasn't for this, big health crisis that basically left me on the floor. But that's where I started my health journey and really started tapping into just understanding, like, I am not this unlimited, I think there's a meme even about, like, if we just charged ourselves as often as we charged our cell phones.
Yes, I have seen that meme before. Yeah.
So that's where I was, and I realized I had to start looking at healthy options. I knew yoga was great for mental, physical. So I immediately got into yoga teacher training. And at that point, I've been practicing yoga like 17, 18 years, but finally decided, all right, I'm going to the teacher training. And then I also started putting together these little self-care kits for people. And this was a couple of years back before CBD was actually legalized. And so I was putting together all these little self-care kits, and I had bath bombs in there, and I really wanted CBD bath bombs. So I was doing a bunch of research, and as I was doing research, CBD became legalized in December of 2018. Legalized basically just means it was taken off the controlled substance list. It should have never been on it, because you will get more of a change in your head from caffeine or sugar than you will from CBD. So,
right.
I mean, that's how CBD is safer and more effective than even caffeine or sugar. So it was removed from that list. It basically opened up CBD, opened up hemp farming in the US. Previously, we had been importing all of the hemp products from China. And so that's why we made that big change. And then you guys have seen, CBD's gone through the roof. It's predicted to be a $22 billion business by 2024, which is only 4 years away. So it's growing rapidly. What I do is I help educate people to navigate the market of CBD products. First, understanding how it works in your body, but really navigating the market of CBD products, because it is truly the wild, wild west. There's a lot of wonderful products out there that will help you with it, pain, anxiety, whatever it is. There's also a lot of, for lack of a better word, crap, tons and tons of fake CBD or CBD that is not processed clean or processed properly. So legitimate CBD businesses do struggle, because we're fighting just a lot of, the crappy stuff that's out there. And so what happens is someone will try CBD, or sometimes they'll even try hemp oil, which is not the same, and I'll explain in a minute. And it doesn't work. So they say, oh, CBD doesn't work. But they don't realize they probably didn't try real, true CBD, and they probably didn't get the dosage right. So a lot of times when people say, oh, I've tried CBD and it didn't work for me, I immediately ask, first of all, was it a company that had third-party testing, lab papers available, that kind of thing? And then, was it really CBD? So I can keep going, Shane. You let me know if you have questions.
Oh no, I'm loving this, because this is giving me more of what I already knew, and then plus knowing, really explain to people what CBD can do for them. So yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically CBD, and I will share, I think I just mentioned, I transitioned myself off of anxiety medication, depression medication, and pain medication. Of course, I did it one medication at a time. And if anyone's heard of titration, there's a way that you have to slowly wean yourself off of the prescription medicine, but slowly add in the CBD. I did that for myself. Now I do it, literally I've done it for hundreds of clients. I've helped people transition off anxiety, depression medication. I've helped people transition off of weed or THC to the CBD. I've also even helped people transition off of heroin and methadone using CBD and yoga.
That's incredible.
Yes. It's a very, very powerful, natural, holistic option. And believe it or not, there's tons of research available now. So really credible, great research on everything from, the research really started with epilepsy, but now they've been able to prove it helps with heart health, it helps lower blood pressure, It's helping with ALS, Alzheimer's, any type of brain disease. There's plenty of research showing that CBD and THC are neuroprotectants. So they're actually protecting yourself from brain disease. What's the other big one? Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. So literally CBD is protecting your brain from these types of diseases. Most of it's happening through the anti-inflammation. So some of the main ways CBD works in your body is we have receptors, CBD1 and CBD2 receptors. I won't bore you guys too much on those details, but just know CBD can literally bring on an anti-inflammation throughout your entire body. And we know that all disease is rooted in inflammation. We also know that aging is rooted in inflammation. So CBD, that's why it is, so many people are using it. It's good for so many different things, because if you can find something natural and holistic that reduces inflammation literally from your brain to your toes, then you're going to get that type of relief from so many different ailments, including arthritis,
Yes.
autoimmune disease. I have clients that I treat, they get neuropathy in their legs. It's really painful, where your nerves are just firing. Let's see, fibromyalgia, I've been really successful with that. And then what's another one? Oh goodness, I've even helped people with a couple clients with stomach cancer. There's CBD that's very specific. There's a strain of CBD specific for stomach cancer. What else is another common one? Hot flashes. What is that? Menopause. So there's a CBD very specific for balancing out the hormones and mood and hot flashes of menopause. So a lot of clients getting really good success with that. And then I literally have doggy clients.
I was going to say pet CBD is a thing, guys.
I have several pet clients that have been with me for almost a couple of years now. And anything from epilepsy, probably the main thing, most of my pet clients are epileptic dogs. And then that's also good for anxiety in pets. So I give my pets CBD if they're going to the vet or the groomers, or 4th of July, loud, New Year's Eve, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it works for their anxiety, loneliness while you're gone during the day. It helps with any type of skin irritations. The same dropper that you use for your pet, you drop into their food, or you drop into their favorite treat. You can also drop onto any dry, itchy patches on them, or if they have any spots on their paws. That same oil can also be used as a topical for the pets too.
Wow.
So just so many different uses.
Yeah.
I have some items that I can kind of just share and show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And then let me explain real quick. I'm going to show you CBD isolate. I have both isolate and full spectrum. And I'm sure most people are hearing, full spectrum, broad spectrum isolate. So what is the difference?
What does that mean? Yeah.
Really important to know. And then I can explain basically why you would choose one over another. So there's CBD isolate. And just like the name sounds, they're isolating the CBD, the cannabidiol, out of everything else. So when you're getting a CBD isolate product, you're getting just CBD and then a carrier oil. So the best carrier oil I always recommend is a coconut oil, an MCT, which is a multi-chain triglyceride. It's a high quality coconut oil, and just CBD. That's it, you guys. No sweeteners, no artificial flavors, nothing else needed. If you do get a flavor, there are CBDs that are flavored with essential oils. So look for natural flavors over artificial. But this is the CBD isolate, and this is a dropper. And the isolate is really good for people who get tested for THC for either their job or like a medication program. This is the purest form of CBD, so it will not build up in your body. It doesn't allow the THC to build up in your body over time and put you at risk to fail a THC drug test. And the reason I mention that is because there's still if you look at any CBD product, if it's a true CBD product, it's going to show 0.03% THC. So most have just the tiniest little bit, nothing that gets any type of head high. I've even had people who are allergic to THC use the CBD and no reaction at all. But here's the difference. On a CBD full spectrum, so I have a full spectrum product as well. The full spectrum means you're getting the full spectrum of cannabinoids. So there's CBD, there's also something called CBN, CBG, other cannabinoids that are very similar, which also is THC. So with the full spectrum, there's a small chance of the very, very tiny amount of THC, again, no head high, but there's a small chance that if you're taking this regularly, it can build up over time and put you at risk to fail a THC drug test. So I just like to educate people on the difference and know, because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I can't take CBD because I get tested for work.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Isolate.
Okay.
And that, I mean, I've been working with clients for almost 2 years, never a single problem with the isolate. And just
that's good.
The isolate is an option for you if you get tested.
Yeah, I was thinking of people with government jobs because they're the ones who always get tested, and they're like so afraid of like obviously having an issue. So that's why they just stay away completely. And like I know someone who wanted to try it, but they're in a government position and they're just like, I'll just wait until I'm not in that job anymore. But I didn't know there was a solution for that. So yeah.
Yes. So I work with a ton of military and military veterans. I work with a couple different veteran groups and really successful at helping them transition off the pharmaceuticals onto CBD. So that's the difference between CBD isolate, literally just CBD, purest, cleanest form of CBD, and then the full spectrum, which includes some other cannabinoids. And then the full spectrum also includes fatty acids, omega-3s, which is good for like your hair, your skin, your nails, that type of thing. One thing I do, it's really, really important that I touch on here is explaining what hemp oil is and helping people understand that it is being passed off as CBD and it's not CBD, and basically you're just getting overcharged and ripped off. So, true CBD is extracted from the stem in the flower or the bud of the plant. If you ever see something that says hemp extract, perfect example, anything on Amazon, I'm telling you right now, anything on Amazon is not real CBD. It is illegal for Amazon to sell CBD. It's something to do on their contract, whatever. Any product on Amazon will say hemp oil. And it's extracted from the seed, not the stem, not the flower or the bud. Hemp oil is extracted from the seed of the hemp plant, and it does not contain CBD. It only contains the omega-3s and fatty acids, which is good for your hair and your skin. So if you see anything that says hemp oil, and you can't find anything that says CBD or the milligrams of CBD in the product, pass. It's not true CBD. It's the number one way people are getting ripped off right now. Kind of another way to look, anything under like $20, $30 isn't going to be real CBD either.
Right. The quality, you're definitely looking for the quality. So
yeah. Like on Amazon, you'll see they have bottles for like $15, $17, or they'll give you a 2-pack for $30.
Yeah.
It's back to what probably our grandparents taught us. If it looks too good to be true, it probably
is. Yeah.
Hempvana, you'll see the infomercials for Hempvana, and they'll show people like golfing and going, oh, Hempvana helped me in pain. Hempvana is not CBD. It is hemp oil. So it's great for your hair and skin, but there's no pain relief whatsoever. And it just baffles me that they even allow them to do infomercials and basically mask themselves or parade as CBD. So those are a couple big ones to look out for. Hempvana, anything on Amazon, anything that says hemp oil and doesn't say CBD, or if you can't find CBD in milligrams on the product, no good. And then let's see, I can go ahead and go through and show some different products and how you use them.
Absolutely. That'd be so helpful.
Okay. So the most common form of CBD is the dropper. This is provides the most effective long-term management, but then also the most value money-wise. So with the droppers, I actually have mine right here. So you just drop a few drops right under your tongue. And I always include dosage charts with my CBD clients. That way it helps them take the guesswork out of the dosage. So just know I help with that. But you drop the drops right under your tongue, and then you allow them to absorb for about 30 to 60 seconds. And under your tongue is a very thin membrane that allows your body to absorb the CBD effectively. So it's called bioavailability. So dropping it under your tongue is considered high bioavailability, meaning your body's going to absorb and process and make the best use of the medicine. So you will feel, if you drop it on your tongue, you're going to feel it in about 3 to 5 minutes. So it's very quick and it's really cool. Shane, I do a lot of markets here in the Temecula area, and I give out CBD samples, and I literally watch people's faces change. So this one guy comes up and he's, like stern face, and he's like, yeah, I got a meeting to go to, but want to see what this CBD stuff's about, and very skeptical. And so I give him a sample, and I literally watch this guy's face. He's like, goes from like this, and he's like, hey, he's like, that's pretty cool. He's like, I'm ready to go to my meeting now.
So it just made him completely relaxed.
Yeah. So again, no head high. What you feel with CBD is just an absence of your symptoms. So if you normally feel that anxiety, like that little spinning in your head, or the depression, which is kind of like just that weight of like, ugh, the CBD within literally 3 to 5 minutes, it brings you to center and it mellows you. So you're not euphoric. You're not like, ah.
Yeah, it levels you out.
But it's like, you don't get high, but you feel really damn good. And I've also given samples to people at markets who literally, they're like, oh, they're fine. They're just like, I want to try it. And then after they try it, this has happened to me so many times. They say, I have had anxiety most of my life and didn't even realize it. So there's so many people living with anxiety on a regular basis, and they don't even realize it until the absence of that feeling is there. Like as soon as you remove it, then they realize, oh my gosh, is this what it's supposed to feel like?
Yes.
And that's just, most of us are normalizing the anxiety that we're under on a day-to-day.
Yeah, it's true. Because I remember the first time I had CBD oil, and the reason why I got on it was because of my anxiety as a new mom, right? And I took it, and literally I was like, oh my gosh, for once it actually feels quiet. Like my mind just, I can't even describe it, but it was just the most amazing feeling. Like it's never felt this calm internally. Like I always felt like frantic in some way, or because I didn't, like you said, we normalized anxiety, and I had anxiety for most of my life and just didn't know. I just thought this is my normal. I'm just very upbeat. This is just my stress. It's cool, so you just kind of learn how to just deal. But it's nice when you don't even have to have it at all.
You don't have to deal. Yeah. You can just feel centered and like there with yourself, right?
Right. I love that you do samples at the market, though. I've never heard of anyone doing that, and it's genius because then the products speak for itself when they can feel the difference right there and then. Yeah,
and it helps kind of get over the social stigma too. Because a lot of times people will walk by and they'll be like, they're curious, right? But they like side eye the CBD. Like there's this stigma or internal shame.
Yes.
So I just put it out and I'm like, just try, I'm, just real open and friendly. And then people are more likely to step up and try and then engage in conversation and then learn it's not pot. Nobody needs to be shaming you for it. So yeah, the samples really help. So the dropper will help you with anxiety, depression. It helps with pain, so inflammation through your whole body. So literally, I have arthritis in my hands and my hips. So I can take this dropper and it literally relieves pain through my whole body. This also helps with, like I just mentioned, the neurological, any type of autoimmune. Literally, like my autoimmune people out there, it is a balance every day of keeping that balance and avoiding an inflammation event. CBD is the best way to keep that homeostasis and avoid the inflammation events. And actually, CBD does promote homeostasis within your whole body, but within each individual cell. So this is important to share too. It doesn't just relieve the pain or mask the pain. CBD goes in at a cellular level and begins, there's these little things in your cells called mitochondria, and it's like the lungs of your cell. And so it goes in and literally strengthens and fortifies your cells. And then the homeostasis part is, so an easy way to explain homeostasis is like, it's like the baseline function of your body where everything's functioning like it should. Now, if you have cells that say, oh, I want to start forming in a different way, or kind of like get funky on you, that's where you see disease. That's where you see cancer, right? Is when cells literally say, I'm not going to function the way I'm supposed to. I'm going to go a little haywire. So if a cell is even thinking about doing that, the CBD is bringing it to homeostasis, and it's saying, oh, no, you don't. You're going to function just like this. So that's how it works, preventative for so many different diseases. But then it also doesn't just mask the pain, but it is healing you at the same time it's relieving your pain. That's probably one of the biggest reasons I was drawn to it, because I've never been one to just mask the symptoms. How good does that do you? Mm-hmm. So I really like that. I know I'm relieving the pain, but then I'm also healing at the same time. Really important. So the dropper under the tongue, usually about 2 to 3 times a day. And the droppers run between 30 and 95. So they're pretty affordable. They'll last a couple months. So it's pretty affordable for long-term management for any type of, pain, inflammation, anxiety. The second most common after the droppers are, let's see if I got a big one, topicals. So CBD topicals, it's just a topical lotion you rub right onto sore, achy joints, muscles. I have one, I literally every night before bed, I put it on my hands, and it helps with my arthritis. I don't wake up in the morning. I used to wake up in the morning with these like sore, stiff hands, and I'd have to pump the circulation into them and do this, like this little thing where I get all the, swollenness and stiffness.
I know what you're talking about, because I had that issue too, and I had arthritis diagnosed. It was last year.
So. I was too young for that.
Yeah.
And so I put a little on my hands every night before bed. That, in combination with just taking this a couple times a day, prevents it from ever getting achy or flaring up on me. So the topicals are good. Literally, any types of aches, muscles, neuropathy, like I mentioned, using the topical on neuropathy. Now, if you have really deep pain, for example, I have clients that have, like plates in their necks or rods in their back. Mm-hmm. What I do is I recommend a combination. So you take the dropper internally, so you're getting the pain, the anti-inflammation through your whole body internally. Then you come externally and hit your hot spots of pain with the topical. So you're getting a 1-2 punch, internal, external relief. And I've been able to help people literally with steel parts in their body get pain relief. So that's topicals. This is good for muscle recovery, or if you're going into yoga or coming out of yoga, the topicals are really good too. My husband lifts a lot of weights. And so he likes this for muscle recovery because his muscles will heal faster and can work out. sooner.
See, I'm planning on starting CrossFit soon, so I think I would need a CBD topical aspect, just because I already know that's going to be a whole different physical challenge. So, yeah, so I'll be right there with you with the lotion.
Awesome. So the lotions, and then the next comment after that are the gummies. And the gummies, so the CBD gummies that I represent, or I wholesale basically, are vegan. They're flavored with fruit juice and they're low sugar. And the gummies are really good. So let me just explain the main difference here though. When you drop the dropper under your tongue, it absorbs and you feel it right away, and it lasts about 4 to 6 hours. Now, when you eat a gummy, it goes through your digestion system. So it's going to take 30 to 45 minutes for you to feel it, right? Because it goes through the digestion process. And then it lasts longer in your body. So with the gummies, they can last up to 8 hours, which is interesting. So I have a lot of people that will do a gummy before bed. I personally keep the gummies in my car or my purse, because then I always have, no matter like I'm on the go or wherever I'm going, I have a gummy. The glass bottles, so glass is really good because it's not plastic leaching into your product.
Right.
But the glass, I had one time pulled something out of my purse. The dropper came out, hit tile, and the outside bottle was really thick. It didn't break, but the inside glass dropper part broke, which ruined the product. So since then, I'm like, I'm not messing with my droppers in my
at home.
Gummies in the purse, gummies for on the go. And then, if you're at work all day, 8 hours, they're going to last, or, they're also going to last longer while you're out and about and away from your home. So something I do want to talk about, and the research is there, CBD is safe and effective for kids and pets. So I have a lot of parents with the kids, typically like, this really helps with ADHD, ADD, but then also a lot of kids right now are experiencing anxiety. They're experiencing problems sleeping just with the whole world events and the changes in their school schedules. So a lot of parents are actually doing the gummies for their children. And then I can help with the dosage on that. And then always research for yourself, but the evidence is there. There's even research available showing it's safe and effective for pregnant women and nursing mothers, which is phenomenal because when you're pregnant, the placenta is actually filtering quite a bit for the baby. So a lot of things can be safe during pregnancy, but not nursing, because when you're nursing, you don't have the placenta filtering. And then when you're nursing, many things in your system can actually be amplified as it's received to your baby. So that's always been a really big difference, even between pregnancy and nursing. And there's solid evidence about the nursing as well. So
it's really good to know. Yeah.
For new moms, I actually have several new moms dealing with, postpartum depression, anxiety of being a new mother, especially in our current events, the current situation. They're using the droppers, really good results.
So when I am going to have my second child one day, I will definitely let you know and ask her for advice, because I wasn't exposed to CBD or anything during my pregnancy, or I didn't even know anything about it until after I had my son. And that's why I even got on it, was because I was getting prescribed with a medication for anxiety, and everything in me, like my gut was telling me, no, like things have hit the fan, and you just have to trust your gut that this is not right for your body. And so I just had this, I don't know, I had an intuition telling me, just go to the dispensary and get CBD. And I was so scared because I didn't know, I was never exposed to, THC or anything. And I never, I didn't want to look, have that mom guilt, like, oh, like you're taking a product that's going to make you high, and what are you doing? Yeah. And I even had someone tell me, they were like, how could you do that? You're being high while you're with your son. I'm like, no, this has no psychoactive effects. So even, it's going to take a while, I think, for people to really understand what CBD is as far as it being safe. I didn't even know the aspect that it was safe during pregnancy until you just told me. So it's good to know.
Yeah. Gosh, and it's like, it's hard because we are literally, it's like, I have to decide, like, how much do I want to go into this? But this social stigma, we are very much, it's intentional, and we are very much conditioned into the social stigma, into the shame. It's done on purpose because the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want to lose money.
I know. I completely understand their agenda now that it's been going on for years. And it's crazy because I feel like so many people have missed out, or they just don't have the right information. So it's wonderful that people like you that can educate, really explain it and break it down, because I understand the gist of CBD. I know the benefits because of what I've experienced, but the way you've laid it all out, it's like 101, to someone that just has no idea of, how far it goes as far as your health. So
like time-wise,
yeah,
why don't you just show that there are CBD capsules for sleep. There, it's out there.
Yeah.
And then let's see. So can I just share a little bit about CBD yoga? I do teach CBD yoga workshops regularly. So if you're in the Southern California area, I know we're going to post my Instagram when you can actually go see when CBD yoga events are coming up. But I do want to mention, I was selected as a CBD yoga expert for CBD Zeitgeist magazine. So I actually write articles and contribute for them. And then I was also just selected to teach CBD yoga for the Cannabis US CBD Expo. So it's happening in November, and I'm going to be teaching CBD yoga throughout the whole virtual expo. And so everyone's invited. It's there's going to be several free CBD yoga events through the Cannabis US Expo. And then let's see, how are we doing on time, Shane? Can I mention just a little bit about Reiki Healing?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. So CBD for me, I like to kind of put it this way. CBD and yoga will help manage the day-to-day, but there are deeper level traumas and deeper level experiences that need to be processed. And CBD and yoga can't always help with everything, right? So Reiki Energy Healing, I'll just share just a little bit about Reiki Energy Healing. It's a Japanese-based technique. So most people, or I should say a lot of people have heard of the Chinese Qi energy. So Japanese has a Qi energy, and it's the same thing. It's a vital life force energy. We all have an energetic field around us. It affects our mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. And so the Japanese Reiki technique is a form of energy healing. It's not attached to any religion. In fact, Dr. Usui, who developed the Reiki healing system, he wanted two major things. He wanted something that could help heal other people energetically without depleting his own vital life force energy. And he wanted a healing system that was not attached to any religion so that it could be rolled out to the masses. And his entire heart, because he suffered from many different illnesses as well, his heart was to be able to just bring a healing technique to as many people as possible. And so that's what he did, and we still practice Reiki healing today. And it's a pure, loving, healing energy, and it basically comes in and interacts with your own vital life force energy. It can clear stagnant, stale energies, energy blocks. And the way I like to explain this is when we experience trauma, and trauma is any experience or emotion that we haven't processed, right? So trauma can be, usually we think of the big things, but trauma can also be just even for these kids having to go through shifting up their school system. If they don't have a trusted adult explaining what's going on and helping them process that could be trauma for the kid. So think of trauma as really a spectrum, right? And we store this trauma in our body. These experiences, these emotions, literally are stored in our cells. And so even if this trauma was 30, 40 years ago, an energy practitioner, Reiki energy practitioner, can come in and still heal and move that trauma, that energy that's stored in the body. You can literally move it out of the body. So that is kind of Reiki energy healing in a nutshell. Usually the person receiving lays on like a massage table. Clothes are always kept on completely. And the Reiki energy is usually hands over the body. Sometimes they'll place hands maybe on the head and gently on the body, but it's usually just a direction of energy through the hands. It's all based on love. And then the people feeling or receiving Reiki energy, you can kind of feel like everyone feels, it's a little bit different from everyone. But the most consistent response is, it's like a warm, tingly energy feeling through your body. A lot of people describe it as feeling comforted and safe. And it's kind of like a divine hug or like a hug from the universe. But again, it's not assigned to any religion. It's just calming, soothing, like you're just being held and you're safe. And so that's what you feel as you're experiencing it. And then again, the Reiki practitioner is usually just, moving their hands, directing energy through and around your body. The main thing people feel coming out of a Reiki session is just instant de-stress, instantly calm, blood pressure, heart rate, everything goes into stillness, calmness, and people feel relaxed. It's some of the deepest relaxation you'll ever feel in your life. It's just very deep relaxation. It's like a theta wave state. If you're familiar with theta wave state, it's a theta wave state of the brain. And that's where you get into that theta wave state, and that's where the healing and stuff happens on a scientific level. So you also will feel that immediate sense of stress relief, but then kind of moving forward over the next so many days and weeks, you start to just feel lighter. You have more clarity. So if you're making decisions or going through a transition in life, you can just see clearly. And it's like everything that was kind of cloudy and swirling and like you just didn't know how to move forward and make decisions, you just get this clarity, and it's this beautiful clarity and almost like a direction. And you just kind of knowing, it's a knowing like, okay, this feels good. I'm supposed to do this, or I can make this decision now. And just very clear that way. And then some people even notice, because your body, you change at an energetic level. So you'll notice different opportunities, different people of higher vibration, of more of like love, just start coming into your life. So for example, I just had a Reiki session with a lady 2 weeks ago. And within the first week, so she was working at a grocery store, and she was just miserable at a grocery store, right? She's, having to wear masks the whole time, helping people that are shopping upset, just the whole vibe of the grocery store. She was not happy.
Right.
She comes in for the session. Within the next week, she had already had 4 different people talking to her about job opportunities, right? And she's like, where is this coming from? 4 different, like all in the same week.
Yeah.
Yesterday, she just got hired at the winery doing something that she loves to do.
Aww.
So weeks, I'm covered in chills. I'm so excited for her. She literally got a new job doing something that she loves and doing something that she had done prior, to having to work in the grocery store. So that's just kind of how it happens. It's like you clear these energetic blocks in your body, and then without knowing it, you're carrying yourself a little bit differently. And then people respond to that energetic change within you. And then that's how those people and those situations and those opportunities just start coming in. So that's a bit about Reiki healing. Mm-hmm. And then I do have, so I'm a Reiki Master Teacher. I teach and certify Reiki practitioners. And usually every month I'll have a level 1 and 2 Reiki certification. So If you're interested in receiving a session, you can contact me. I do host virtual sessions anywhere in the world, as well as in-person sessions here in Southern California. And then if you're interested in Reiki training, so you actually want to get certified to work with the energy, I host those here in person. I'm going to be offering virtual Reiki trainings in December. And then, gosh, Shane, do I get to mention, I got a live crystal show tonight.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, busy bee, but in the best way, because it's all in just a healing space. And I mean, I've had energy healing done multiple times, so I know the power of that on how all of a sudden great things start coming your way. So, and crystals, oh my gosh, crystals. As I'm talking to you, I'm like looking at my, I had gone to an event recently and they had crystals there, and I got a crystal coaster. So now it's like anytime I put a beverage there, I'm just thinking like, okay, that's a healing crystal, whatever I'm drinking, it's going to be good, you know? So it really sets a good vibe.
Yeah. And you can see I have a lot of crystals. Like here's a really big, beautiful one.
Wow.
A lot of stuff right behind me here. And I'm like, do I have time to explain how can a crystal be healing? Can I explain that real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So 5 years ago, if you would have told me a crystal could heal, I would have laughed at you, right? And then I actually understand the science behind it now. So it's very much based in science, which most of us wouldn't even realize. But if you take yourself back to like junior high science, do you remember where they talked about, I think I even have a chart. Here we go. So in junior high, they talk about the rainbow spectrum of frequency. They talk about the colors being frequency, and they show you how different colors will have different frequency bands. They talk about sound as frequency, color as frequency. Oh my gosh, just about anything and everything is frequency and energy, right? So just like the colors of the rainbow spectrum, each color vibrates at its own frequency. Now, each part of our body, different organs, different energy centers of our body also vibrate with different frequencies. And so the crystals, for example, this is an orange crystal. It's also a carnelian. So the way that the crystal is formed and grows, and then the color combine to make its frequency. So each crystal has its own frequency that it emits. And in fact, we use crystals in cell phones, televisions, cell towers. We use crystals literally because they amplify energy. And why would we use crystals in telephones, in satellites, and TVs to amplify energy, but yet deny that a crystal energy would interact with our body? So the frequency that it emits interacts with the frequency of our body. And the colors also interact with different healing parts of our body. So when we meditate with a crystal, it's working in two ways. One, like I just talked about, that frequency is literally intermingling with the frequency of your body, but then it also serves as an intention. And our intention, the thought or the weight that we put behind something is so important. And just even holding this with the intention of healing a certain part of your body, the placebo effect, right? Talk to any scientist and they'll tell you the placebo effect is very real. It's very powerful. In fact, there's even studies being done right now to show how the placebo effect itself can actually heal. And that's because your mind thinks it's healing, so your mind can heal itself just purely by believing that it's healing itself. And that's a lot of things that's been called woo-woo or basically in the past. Yeah. The science is now emerging and they're able to prove it. So it's incredible. So the crystals work in two ways. The frequency literally interacts with the frequency of your body. Then also the intention and the thought that you put behind it is also very powerful. So two different ways.
Yeah, I swear, I can listen to you talk and explain this stuff forever because it's like it really just breaks into bite-sized pieces because I'm not the best at explaining certain things, especially when it's science. Yeah, but I love that all of this stuff can be proven through science. Like it's undeniable and it just shows that even though it's people consider it woo-woo or whatever, it works. Period. So you can try it or not, but the proof is in the pudding. So
Yes. And so
yeah.
I do have a live crystal show tonight. I call it a sip and shop. So I make it fun, especially because, we've been quarantined. A lot of us have been on lockdown. So I started doing these sip and shops where we basically just get together. It's like a virtual hangout on my Instagram live. And we just sip, pour your favorite beverage. Doesn't have to be alcoholic at all, just whatever you enjoy drinking. And then we just hang out and I show, so all these crystals behind me, I will go through each and every one, explain how it'll ground your energy or protect your energy or how it works in your body. And then I'm also having a giveaway tonight and I'm giving away this gorgeous piece of amethyst. So this
Beautiful.
is a amethyst cluster. It's over a pound of amethyst. And then I'm giving away, so amethyst is really important for calming anxiety, soothing the nervous system. It also helps with detachment of like addictions, substances, people, bad habits, routines. Amethyst helps with all of that. And then bismuth, I'm giving away 3 of these bismuth pieces. And I call it the 2020 stone because this literally helps with isolation, whether it's spiritual isolation or physical. We've all been physically isolated. Spiritual isolation, meaning if you're the only one spiritually awakened in your family or friends, that's its own isolation. But then this also helps calm social discord. So I'm like, you're telling me there's a crystal that helps with calming social discord. Hello, election coming up. As well as helping with isolation. I'm like, this is the 2020 stone. So I'm giving away the big amethyst, the 3 bismuth, and then I'm also giving away one of my signature energy healing sets. So this is a cute little bag. And then in the bag, there's a sage smudge.
I love sage.
And then a selenite wand and a Palo Santo smudge stick.
I love Palo Santo too.
So it's basically the idea behind this, the energy clearing kit is this kit will cleanse you, your crystals, and your space. And we can all use a cleansing of negative energy, bringing in positive energy right now, for sure.
Yes, I actually burn sage like every day. Like I have it on my counter and every day I just light it and I just...
In your counter? That's awesome.
Yeah, in the kitchen. It's always there. So when people come over, I'm like, hey, I just need to do this it's a maintenance thing because people come in and out and sometimes I just love feeling like, cause I'm pretty like OCD clean. So I'm like, I just want to even clean the energies in here. Like I don't want anything lingering. Yeah. And
so it's been used for thousands of years for cleansing energy. Mm-hmm. But I like to throw in the science. So they've shown that the sage smoke in the air cleanses 95% of the bacteria and airborne pathogens. It's like it's a holistic Lysol.
Wow. See, I didn't even know. Oh my gosh. Like all these fun facts. I'm just going to need to outline all this information unless you have it somewhere on your website.
Yeah. It took the science from me. I was very much, previously very much black and white, had to see it to believe it. It's also why I ended up soul sick, right? I didn't believe in anything bigger than myself. Mm-hmm. But that's what it took for me, was to see the stats, to see the science. I really had to be convinced, but now that I am, and because I'm a research nerd, it's helped me now share it because I can communicate it and break it down, like you said, for others. So that's I think that's kind of the magic of it, is I do all this research, but then I can put it into those bite-sized nuggets and help it make sense. That way everyone else doesn't have to do hours and hours and hours of research.
Right. You've saved, I know, thousands of hours for people that just wanted to understand how all of this works. This is amazing. And I definitely want, you know what, I think it was a year ago or so, around the time I started CBD and I was researching it, I think I did come across your profile a long time ago and I saw the retreats. I was like, I really want to do that, like, because I wanted to do like a treat for myself. So I would love to attend your next retreat because I'm just up here. I'm in California as well. So that would be amazing just to be around people that understand this stuff.
Probably going to have an overnight retreat in January, something like, you know, to reset and restart for the new year.
Yes.
But tons. I have the giveaway and the live crystal show tonight. And then I usually have at least 1 or 2 events every single week between Reiki, crystals, and CBD. So I don't know, do you put up like my website and my Instagram, that type of thing, or do I say it?
Oh yeah, you can totally, I'll have it in the description so everyone can click, but of course mention it so our listeners know where to find you. Yeah.
So Instagram has all of the upcoming events, and there's a lot going on. A lot of the events are selling out even like a week or 2 in advance. So if you see an event you want to attend, register because
get on it
quickly, which is a blessing. I mean, I've been at this a couple of years now, but yeah, really good response, tons of events, something every week. Instagram is at the CBD Yoga Teacher. Just remember to add the. So again, it's the CBD Yoga Instagram. And I have not only all of the events posted, but I have free yoga videos, free meditation videos, free chakra clearing videos. There's even a video, like if you're in an active panic attack and you need breathing, I have a video that shows you 2 different breathing techniques that start right away. So I don't talk a whole bunch. I just go right into breathing. So you can kind of turn on that video and breathe with me and calm and soothe during an anxiety attack. So just excellent resources on my Instagram, in addition to all the events.
That sounds amazing. Like you just have so much to offer to everyone. And I know our listeners would love this because you have so much information to share and it's so insightful. And I feel like I just took a class right now. So that's perfect.
I used to be a corporate trainer, literally.
Yeah.
I went to college to be a corporate trainer and I used to roll out all this, you know, boring stuff in the corporations. And I did a little bit of soft skill training, and that's always where my heart was, is to really just basically help other people like come into their personal power, just understanding holistic options or different options to like come into your power. So you're not just basically surviving through life, but really thriving. So that's where my passion has always been. And I love doing this. I mean, I would rather talk about CBD and crystals and Reiki than management programs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's how you know, like, you're really passionate about what you do. If you could just never stop talking about it, and you never know whose lives you're gonna touch. So I just thank you so much for all of the information. I know everyone's gonna check out all of your stuff. I will definitely be tuning in, and I hope I can make it to the retreat in January, because I know that would just help me a ton. I've been wanting to do a retreat for so long, so this will be great as like a mom little vacation. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much again. And everyone, you know where to find Cheri. She has all of her stuff that's in the description box and on Instagram. So we'll catch you all next time. And thank you so much again for listening.
Thank you. Bye.